well. Put mildly, the Jazz won. That's thick and thin of it. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to think about. I know, for me at least. But it was bound to happen eventually, right? So now they improved to 3-8 overall, which is, still tank balled, but they found a rotation that actually worked. They almost lost it at, down the end, down the stretch. Excuse me. Of the game, but that fourth quarter they got outscored by double digits, but they managed to cling to hope to the very last second, winning 115 to 113. Now against us, Klay Thompson was held to an abysmal shooting night. He was 5-13 from three, which is 38.5%. Ironically enough, he had a total of 17 points. Outside of him, there wasn't anything like super crazy going on. I mean, Luka had himself a game, and Quentin Grimes had a respectable 15, 4, and 5, shooting 3 of 7 from three. Luka shot 13 of 25, so he's 52% from the field. He was 4 of 13 from three, though. So when he was outside the arc, we were actually able to contain him, ironically enough, which is weird to say. He was 7 of 7 from the free throw line, though, had 7 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal. We forced 3 turnovers on him, but honestly, that wasn't enough. He had a box score plus minus of a -8 and scored 37 points. Off the bench, Daniel Gafford had 10, and then you had Najee Marshall with 19, 2, and 4, shooting 9 of 14 from the field. He missed both threes that he attempted. Overall, they shot 43 of 85, which is 51% from from the field, and 12-39 from three-point range, which is 30.8. For us, well, things were better, obviously. Just ever so slightly from three-point range. Overall field goals, we were literally tied. We both hit 43 for 85, which is 50.6%. From three-point range, though, we attempted 5 less and hit 1 more. So we were 13 of 34, 38.2%. Lowry 4 of 8, didn't really take a massive number of shots. 2 of 5 from 3, which is acceptable. 3 of 3 from the free throw line. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, only 1 turnover. 13 points. Box score plus minus of a positive 11, tied for second best on the team. Kyle Filipowski, in 30 minutes, 6 of 8 shooting, hit the 1 3 that he attempted. He was 1 of 4 from the free throw line, so that wasn't great, but that's as ugly as it got for him because he also had 7 rebounds, 3 of them being offensive, to go along with 2 assists, 1 steal, and only 2 turnovers. Total of 14 points. Interestingly enough, though, his box score plus minus was a -11. Yeah. John Collins, 10 of 20 from the field in his yearly high of 35.5 minutes. 1 of 3 from 3, 7 of 7 from the free throw line, which was big. It came up big, especially when you consider how close this game got towards the end. He had 9 rebounds, and this is the first time this season where any of our guys has had significantly more offensive than defensive rebounds. John Collins ended up with 6 offensive rebounds to just 3 defensive rebounds. He also had 3 assists, 2 steals. He had 4 turnovers, which is ugly. Second most on the team, but 28 points, efficiently shooting from the field again, 50%. Box score plus minus of a -4. Colin Sexton, 7 of 12, 2 of 5 from 3. That was a pretty solid shooting night from him again. Luckily, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, only 2 turnovers. That was good, 16 points, but a box score plus minus of a -10. Keontae George finally shot league average or above. We needed that more than anything. Because he was 5 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from three-point range. Didn't attempt any free throws, but he had 6 assists, 2 steals, and 3 turnovers. 14 points, box score plus minus of a -9. Jordan Clarkson, 7 of 16 shooting, 3 of 9 from 3, 3 for 3 from the free throw line. He needed this performance today. It's not great, but it is going to help his percentages overall. Had 4 rebounds, had 4 assists, which put him at second on the team right behind Keontae. And he had no turnovers today, 20 points. So, not the most efficient 20 ball, but efficient enough. And because he didn't have turnovers, it looked pretty good. Also, for not very often you're going to catch this, so let's savor it while it's here. He had a box score plus minus of a +3. Usually Jordan Clarkson's ends up being negative. Isaiah Collier, rough outing for him. 1 of 2 from the field, missed the 1 3 that he took, had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals, 1 block, but 5 turnovers, a team leading 5 turnovers in just 18 and a half minutes of action, which is obviously not good. Dare I say, horrid. But he had a box score plus minus of +12, so it was interesting. I would like for him to be a little bit more deliberate in his thought pattern and just give himself more grace, because it feels like sometimes he feels like he has to make a pass, and that's not necessarily the case. You can dribble a little bit more out. You know what I'm saying? If the shot's there, I know I said previously like that one. It was what 0 of 6 from 3-point range that one game. I don't want him shooting 6 threes, but if you end up shooting some longer range twos and they just don't go, I'm willing to live with that. That's a ship. That's a shot I'll live and die by, in his hands at the very least. Excuse me if I can't tell how stuffy I sound. I am unfortunately sick a little bit. Drew Eubanks 2 of 3 from the field. Hit 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He had 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, no turnovers, 5 total points, and positive 11 for his box score plus minus. Similar story for Cody Williams, 1 of 3 from the field, missed the 1 3 that he had, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, had 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, box score plus minus of 11. And then Johnny, who was not great. He wasn't horrible. He was bad, but he wasn't in the game long enough for me to say he was horrible, because he played almost 7 minutes. He was 0 of 3 from the field, 2 of those being 3-pointers. He had 1 assist, 1 steal. He didn't have any turnovers as well, I guess, which bodes well. And his box score plus minus was only a -4, which is interesting considering the fact that he was part of the, one of the worst lineups that we ran today, but he wasn't the worst, or he wasn't part of the worst lineup technically that we ran from a box score plus minus standpoint. Nevertheless, he was looking a little bit more conish than he usually does. And considering the fact that he's not short like Colin Sexton or Jordan Clarkson or even Isaiah Collier, he can't really get away with that. Like, it's blatantly apparent when somebody 6'7", 6'8" gets blown by. 6'7", 6'8" can't properly close out, can't slide their feet. Like, it's really like it's front and center. We can't avoid that, especially when all you do on offense, really, respect to the rest of his game, is shoot threes. Like that's his job. And he didn't do that today. He didn't do either. He got fried on both ends of the floor. But to look at the chat, what's good, Tane? What's good, Pete? You said Larry injured again, missed it. Flip was amazing. Absolutely. Flip he's making the most of his opportunities, and he looks like he belongs. That's the biggest thing. I said fit and just comfortability was going to be really big, and the boy looks really freaking comfortable. It's hard to find a situation where he doesn't look, or where he would look more comfortable, to be quite honest with you. Keontae wasn't total ass today. Absolutely. He was -11 because Juzang kept letting his guy cut to the rim while Kyle was on the floor. Yeah. Lacking a true rim protector on the floor at times can make things very difficult for some lineups that we run. Definitely deserve to start over Williams. I would 100% agree. Ironically enough, out of the two of them, it seems like he was the one off rip that, because his body was was better prepared to take on the NBA burden, he was the one that should have been getting more NBA minutes, while it looks like Cody Williams will end up spending a significant number of games in the G League this year, because his size won't be, or his lack of size won't be as much of a problem. And he might be able to build up some more confidence and find a level of flow similar to what Kyle is experiencing right now with the main roster. Juzang wasn't very good. Yo, free Bryce, bro. Matter of fact, let me look at these minutes. Jordan Clarkson got 30. That's part of it. We were really heavy on our starters. Collier got his 18.5. Drew Eubanks got 17. I don't really love that, but it happened. Um, we gotta make Clarkson look good, and he didn't shoot terrible today. I'm hoping that like right after the trade deadline, we're gonna see a lot of Bryce Sensabaugh like we did last year. More Sensabaugh than last year, actually. That would be the preferred situation. What's good, Jeff? He said Collier is too selfless. There is a point where they left him wide open at the top. He can't be afraid to shoot it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That 0-6 performance really like it'll do something to you when you know that you're not hitting and they know you're not hitting and that's why you're open. Like you pray for a closeout. You pray for a closeout, and if they don't give you that closeout, it becomes harder than a free throw in the clutch. To be honest with you. Um, Good point, Pete. Why the world Jews ain't playing over Bryce? Your guess is as good as mine. Like, yeah, I guess you could be looking for somebody that's going to be specifically a shooter, but if he piles up enough of these games where he shoots 0-2, 0-3, 0-4 from the field, with most of those 3 or 4 being 3-pointers, you can't play him. At least not right now. To be nice, you know. Gotta admit, Cody Williams getting the demotion instead of Key was not something I expected, but man, 29 other teams must be kicking themselves for skipping out on Kyle Filipowski, and I love every one of them for doing it. Side note, Alexander Sarr looked cheeks. You saw this man Wemby got a 50 ball? Most of them was on Alexander Sarr's head, and that dude was just letting Wemby cook him. Dude, I understand Wemby's not shooting great from three-point range this year just yet, but once the brother hits his third three-pointer in the first half, you have to close out hard. Like you can't make him comfortable with that shot because he hit 8 threes. That's effing absurd. Like that can't happen. I need Kyle Filipowski to sip on some of whatever Wemby has and keep doing this. Give us a little bit more. There's only one rookie this year right now that's averaging double figures, I believe. I think it's the one that's on the Grizzlies. I can't remember what his name is. But yeah, I think it's the one wing, or he might be a forward. You said, it was good, Nick. You said, hey, man, for real. Can this team catch fire a little bit and make the play-in? Hit me with a yes or no. No Taylor Hendricks this year. Healthy Walker Kessler. Healthy Lowry, healthy Kyle, healthy John, healthy Colin, healthy Keontae, mildly efficient Jordan Clarkson. But the West isn't going to be forgiving. In theory, if we wanted to win and the goal wasn't to tank, I would be inclined to say 10 could be in reach. 7 or 8, no. But 10, maybe 9, maybe asterisks right there. I think 10 would be in reach. If we really wanted to win and everybody stayed healthy, then yeah. I think 10 could definitely be touchable. Whether we get it or not is a different story, but 10 I think would definitely be a feasible thing. He said, not even if we somehow, against all the odds, sitting at 7 and 10 in the All-Star break, Danny will pull the plug. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I had to put the asterisks. If we want to win, but we know how the goal this year, everybody seems to be wanting to tank. What's good, Logic? How's it going, man? No, I want Flag or Bailey. I'm prepared to hurt this season. This is the one year where I'm willing. I'm swallowing my pride and my desire to win games and just I'm somebody where if I'm bound to live in purgatory and I'm gonna lose, I grew up a Hornets fan, so I've watched some of my favorite player of all time is Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. When I tell you he's one of the most bagless offensive players of all time, but he's still awesome to me because he would go out there every night and give it everything he had, even when we were cheeks as a team overall. Like I couldn't like that. Like that was my hero thing. Like you know how guys have that desire to just go out with that one final last stand, like on the hill, just battling it out against 10,000 foes, and that's how you die. Like that's what I want. And watching basketball games, that's what I want to see. I don't care how outclassed we are. I just want to see us go at it and give it everything we have until there's nothing left to give. And this is one of those years where I'm accepting that that's not the case. Like losing is going to be the most beneficial thing for us this year specifically. Don't ask me about next year. I don't want the Boozer twins that bad. I don't care about them enough, respectfully. 80. No, it's not Edie. It's he's got to be a wing because he doesn't in the graphic I saw. He didn't look like he had a build of a 40. He looked like he was. Well, I guess you could say he had like a Johnny Chuzang build. I'm gonna look him. I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna figure it out. Dallin, what's good, my guy? He said, I'm old enough to remember Hornacek hitting 7 threes, so that was a big thing. Mm-hmm. If Flip makes the All-Star team, we will make the playoffs. If Flip's upgrades his gameplay to that standard, then yeah, of course. That's the only way. Yeah. My eyes might be failing me, but if Flip look okay on defense. Yes, the effort is there. That's what I expect from Flip. The effort to be there. The thing with Kyle Filipowski is he doesn't have athleticism that jumps off the page. He also doesn't have the same level of verticality that a guy like Walker Kessler has. So he's not ever going to be an elite rim protector. He's never going to be an elite shot blocker. He's going to have a lot of effort plays. He's going to have a lot of strong closeouts. He's going to have loose feet over screens and making sure that he's locked in and loaded and communicates well in those situations. And that stuff comes down to effort and just wanting to be there. So I think that in that aspect, he can be an above average defender. He'll never be a elite defender, I don't think, considering his physical measurables. But overall, a lot of people say that he's not a good defender because they understand that he'll never be an elite rim protector. But if you take away that expectation from him and just say, on forwards, can he hold his own? I think that he's capable of doing it. And today was correct, Pete. Today was one of those days where he really did a good job at that. Good contest, forced to jump, and a few direct deflections. Yep, you see it, Tatum. Given his measurements as a rookie, he did okay relatively. Yeah. They'd be force feeding Collins at this point. Yo, really raise that stock given these last 2 games. Yeah. John Collins is making the most of it. John Collins said, please, coach, please. I wanted to start. I told y'all in the press conference, I need to start. I need the minutes. Please, bro, please. And they are letting him have at it. 29 and what like 29 and 12 and now 28 and 9. Those are some numbers from him. Those are some numbers from the big boy. Not gonna lie. We said no thanks for the Twins. Agreed. Do you think we're going to make any trades at the deadline? I definitely think so. I think the whole point of playing Jordan Clarkson as many minutes as we're playing him right now and allowing John Collins to roam free and just have a ball, just have a blast, is to, number one, let contenders know that Jordan Clarkson can be efficient and that he can give you a good scoring punch off the bench, right? Because that's the only thing he's good at, and we want to offload him. The other thing is for John Collins to create some sort of buzz around him, because for $26 million, he doesn't do enough. There's not enough upside with John Collins for you to sit there and say, oh yeah, I want to pay $26.5 million for that. But you need to create some level of buzz to where people are like, even if they just like side eye, just kind of look in the peripheral and see what's going on with the Utah Jazz and him specifically, maybe you could work something out. And in a ideal imaginary world, in a vacuum, John Collins and Jordan Clarkson get shipped to the same team, and we get like some draft compensation, maybe an expiring contract for the end of this year that comes in as well. Even with all the big numbers Carlos gave us, I appreciate if Utah never sees another Boozer on the team. I'm weak. The Boozer twins are tough, but I'm not enamored with them the way a lot of people are. I hope for Flip on defense is he's able to force bad shots and make good reads on D. Yep. It'll come down to how much effort he puts in. Yes, sir. You said Jordan Clarkson and John Collins and some picks for Cade. I would not be against that. Then bench Cade for the season. Get either Bailey or Flag. Then next year we got Cade, Lowry, Kessler, Sexton. Yeah, the rookie flipping Hendricks. That would be a pretty nice. That would be a pretty freaking nice lineup. I'm not gonna lie. And then we would be allowed to win, right? We would be allowed to actually win. Yeah, we would have to. Cause yeah, we let them have Fontecchio and they're loving him, but I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough to make them love us. They're slow, but they made some good moves this offseason. They're still a bad team. Don't get it twisted. They're still a lottery pick team, but they're not like they look like they deserve to lose in the NBA as opposed to lose against Montverde Academy in a high school setting. Keontae, yeah, I would ship Keontae out in a heartbeat, brother. If you give them like 4 picks, they can't say no. You're right. You're definitely right about that. They couldn't say no. Their will would not allow them to. But any other interesting thoughts, topics, concerns, comments? Anything at all that piques your interest, brothers? Tomorrow's video is going to be a cover on Cooper Flag's 3 games so far. I think I have it scheduled for 12. I recorded it yesterday, so I don't know. I don't think Duke played today, but I wanted to go ahead and get a quick Cooper Flag cover out of the way since they played Kentucky, and Duke versus Kentucky is always going to be a game that shows you who you are and who you aren't. You said give him 3. 3 is most I give. Yeah, I don't think it's crazy to give 3. 3 first and a second. Yeah. If I could do 2 and 2, that would be even better. What do you think of Nolan Traore? I'm fond of him. I'm very fond of Traore. Traore, VJ Edgecombe, Ace Bailey, of course. Everybody rides Cooper Flag, but in the video you hear tomorrow, or is it midnight yet? No, it's midnight for me, but for most of you guys, tomorrow. I don't love Cooper Flag's offensive bag, right? I haven't before. I definitely don't now. I watched him play, and of course, it was just one game, but it was against Kentucky. And when you beat up on Maine, then you beat up on Army, and you play a team that's really going to get after you. They're known for producing guards, and you go over there and you shoot bad. You shoot 1 of 5 from 3, and you turn the ball over 3 times. You have a clutch turnover on your last offensive possession of the game. It's not a great look, but you can get that back. So we'll see how it shakes. But yeah, I'm fond of Nolan Traore. I'm looking forward to just watching a lot of everybody's games. Just to see really who's real and who's not, and also watching quality games, not just watching, when somebody plays against Queens University or, I want to see a Kansas versus Gonzaga game from years ago. I want to see a Duke. The Duke Chapel Hill games are cool, but I mean, yeah, it'll be a good measuring stick for Coop, I guess, and a couple of those other guys. I'm fond of Caleb Foster. Also, not because I coached him in middle school, just because I think he's actually a good player, and he won't cost anybody anything crazy. Like I expect him to be around when the Jazz end up picking. What is that? In the mid-teens, I think he'll still be there. He said Cleveland Cavs NBA champs. I wouldn't say that, but they are definitely the real deal. They're definitely the real deal. Somebody dropped a video today talking about their offense, and I actually have to watch it because I've noticed things, but I love watching the breakdown channels to give me a little bit stronger, a little bit of a stronger scope of things to cover. You said Flag reminds me of John Barry. I don't think it's crazy to say that, actually. I don't think that's crazy at all. You said what's going on with Lowry lost the ability to score 20. I wouldn't say he lost the ability. It's more so that the focus hasn't been on him. Like today, for example, he took 8 shots. The only other person that took 8 shots at the starting lineup was Kyle Filipowski. Then you had John Collins with 20. Mind you, I think that's the most field goals anybody's attempted this season thus far, for the Jazz at least. So he had 20, Sexton had 12, Keontae had 10, Clarkson had 16, and then everybody else on the bench had 2 and 3. So he was effectively fifth, tied for fifth overall in field goal attempts this game. So it's not so much that he can't give you 20, is that either he may still be ailing from something, he may be trying to get reacclimated, or they just told him to take it easy and just, work your way back into things. Could be any number of things, but I think if we give him 16 shots like we gave Jordan Clarkson, he definitely hits at least 7 of those 16. Respectfully, of course. But I'm not mad at this at all. Let me see here. Yeah, he needed this game because his first game against the Kings, or I guess the last 5 games technically. Against the Kings, he was 3 of 5. Against Milwaukee, he was 3 of 10. Against the Spurs, he was 3 of 15. Then finally against Phoenix, he was 7 of 13, and now he is 4 of 8. So definitely needed that efficiency. Clever move to drop his trade value. I think it's more so that they don't need to put a focus on Lowry because the goal isn't to win a specific number of games. In fact, it's probably to lose, but you can't not play him because then you're going to get investigated like the Philadelphia 76ers are. You don't want that to happen. So you play Lowry and just don't always find him a touch. Like you find him some good touches, but you don't find him, some interesting stuff to do. Especially since the trade talks for him will heat up this offseason when he's able to be, shipped out again. And then on top of that, John Collins and Jordan Clarkson, who ended up taking the most field goals in this game, both together, 36 out of the 85, which is like 42%-ish, something like that. It starts to make more sense. Hardy's in love with Clarkson. They'd be trying to trade Collins in badly. Yeah. Gotta love Sexton's aggression. Not the best numbers wise, but the little things are crucial for a win. Hoping that energy can carry over to the rookies and maybe you'll have a born dog like him. That would be nice. Ryan Smith is in love with Clarkson. Agreed. Greatly agreed. For after a year, because they will absolutely try to spread rumors constantly. Yeah. Last year I wanted DeJounte. It would have worked out. They would have listened to me this year. I'm not saying Cade. I'm not going to argue with either of those. Hardy has been using Clarkson as point guard the last few games, damn near about to shoot them out of the game. Yeah, he had a decently efficient game today. The thing about Clarkson that I do have to give him praise for this season, though, so far, has been his lack of turnover proofness. Because usually that man just turns the rock over ridiculously. You get the ball, you get the ball, you get the ball, you get the ball. Everybody that's not on my team gets the ball. Like that's the way it feels sometimes. But neither here nor there. But I didn't want to take up too much of you guys' time. I just wanted to, revel in one of the few victories that we're going to come by. This was a quality win. It was nice to see everybody, have opportunities. It was nice to see Kyle Filipowski not only get the start over Cody Williams, but also do something with said start and being just overall efficient from the field because his defense is going to be effort based more than anything and understanding the schemes. But offensively, you can't teach efficiency, like especially in a short term. Like over a season, yeah, you can make somebody more efficient. You can scheme them into things. But if you're not naturally properly aggressive and in control when you're attacking and taking the right shots, then the efficiency is just not going to be there. But for him today, at the very least, it was. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hopefully when I wake up in the morning, I'm a little bit less stuffed up. I don't think I'm as stuffy on camera in my video tomorrow. Let me know if I am. But I'll catch you guys. What's our next game? Tuesday? No. Today's Thursday. I think Saturday. Whenever the next game is, I'll be there. You know what I'm saying. But as always, good morning, good evening, and good night. No matter where you're in the globe watching, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.